What's new crew? If you're new, my name is Cassandra. Welcome back to my channel. It is the end of the month, which means we got a meal plan for the month ahead, heading into May. May is where things really pick up meals wise here for my family. My school-aged kids get out of school toward the end of the month, so I'm planning for meals for dinners, but I'm also planning meals for lunches. If you're new, I have 4 kids that range in age from 8 to 1. So half of my kids are school-aged, half of them are home with me during the day. So come summertime, things change. Gotta make sure that there's enough in the house for 3 meals a day, plus probably 2 snacks a day for 4 kids. That being said, I'm going to really quickly talk about how we do food here because I get so many new people on these videos, and if you watch these videos often, I'm going to try to just kind of give the key points. We try to live the most self-sustaining lifestyle as we can. We have a garden that we put in every year. Heading into May, those plants for us here in Zone 4B are just hitting the ground. We will maybe get some peas and some green beans coming up here pretty quickly. But other than that, nothing else is producing here for us. That won't happen closer to July. My freezers are already full of locally sourced meats, or for our fish, we do all that fishing ourselves. So we only eat fish that we can catch ourselves here locally. A lot of trout, a lot of panfish, salmon we have in the freezer right now from some salmon fishing trips. My husband will go a couple times a year to catch salmon, get a year's worth of salmon, and we keep that in the freezers. The meats that I'm buying from the grocery store right now are things like lunch meats, but I'm thinking that'll be changing soon. Chicken, and sometimes I'll be buying shrimp, which I am doing this month. I am also going to be buying some flank steaks because we don't buy our beef like a whole cow at a time. We're thinking we're going to be changing that. Our family's growing a little bit, and the 1 or 2 deer that we get a year to use for our steaks and things like that just aren't cutting it for us anymore. So we're really thinking we will be buying a whole cow at a time, but typically we will just buy bulk ground beef. It is much cheaper that way than buying a whole cow. A whole cow in our area is about somewhere between $1,200 and $1,800 for your cow, where if we buy 300 pounds of ground beef, it's only like $400 or $450. So that's what we're doing right now. I meal plan mostly out of my freezers, what's coming out of my garden, preserving what I have left on the pantry shelves, and all of those things. Also, my lunches are going to be very simple and very easy because a lot of the summers I want to spend with my kids. We're in the garden, that takes up a lot of time, but also going on adventures, making sure we're going to the park and we're hiking and we're fishing and swimming and doing all the things. I don't want to have to make all of my lunches from scratch. So this is the time of year where convenience wins because I want those memories with my kids. We will get in the kitchen every once in a while, but it's just too much to worry about coming home from the park with 4 very hungry, maybe some tired kids, tired babies that need to just eat and go to bed. So convenience wins this time of life for me in this season. So we're actually going to start with my lunches. I have 9 lunches here that are just going to be very simple to keep on hand all the time. I'm not going to have to buy like extra things that I normally wouldn't to keep on the shelf. We are going to have some special things that I don't keep all the time because it is summertime, so they're kind of like fun summer treats, and my kids get excited about having them again. So we're going to do, for the first meal, we have tacos, nachos, or quesadillas. Very simple, all take the same kind of ingredients, especially once the garden starts producing and we have things like lettuce and tomatoes and peppers and all the things that you want to put on your nachos or in your taco. Very simple to do. So we will be doing those. Also sandwiches, you guys. Don't knock a good sandwich. A cold cut sandwich, peanut butter and jelly, a handful of veggie straws, and an apple or an orange or a string cheese or a yogurt will fill kids up really nicely. Grilled cheese is a fan favorite here, whether that be grilled cheese or grilled cheese with pepperoni, a hot ham and cheese, hot ham and turkey. Aldi sells this amazing tomato and basil soup. We all absolutely love it. Even my husband, who I've talked about this all the time, does not like tomatoes. He loves that soup. It is delicious. Sometimes we'll take bacon out of the freezers and do BLTs, so that's always an option as well. Chicken nuggets, I'll get a couple bags of chicken nuggets for the month. Easy couple meals there, a couple lunches at least. Some mac and cheese, chicken salad, homemade Lunchables, which the kids love, just crackers, some cheese, pepperonis, things like that. Kids love them. And then I always keep ramen and SpaghettiOs on the shelf for just those random days where the kids want them. May is kind of when things shift for us also meal-wise. We kind of switch out of winter mode and into more summer mode, lighter foods, lots of pasta salads and easy grilling things, lots of marinated meats. So because that was, I went onto Pinterest and found some summer meals. That's literally all I typed into the Pinterest search bar was summer meals, summer dinners, summer grilling ideas, things like that. So I came up with a pineapple barbecue meatball. Trying to work with what I have in my freezer. It's got lots of ground beef in there. I have some pineapple that I canned on the shelf in some simple syrup and lots of barbecue sauce that we also canned. We're also gonna do aloha chicken. We were stationed out at Fort Drum and there was this awesome Hawaiian themed restaurant right off post there, and we used to eat there all the time because it was really affordable and the food was really good. And I want to do kind of like a play on what they used to serve because my husband loved it, and obviously we haven't had that here in Wisconsin, and I just want to do that for him kind of as a little bit of surprise with some white rice that we buy in bulk. It's going to be delicious. We're gonna do a black pepper chicken. I have everything for this. I love doing Asian themed meals because they're super quick, super simple, and they have things that I just keep in bulk here all the time. Especially once the garden starts producing, it's gonna be really easy to do stir fries with all the snap peas and peppers and everything else that's coming out of the garden. You can throw anything in a stir fry and it's gonna be delicious. We're gonna do a stuffing and sausage meatball. This is one of the things that I wanted to do last month, but if you've been following, we had a power outage come through last month and we did not have power for 7 days. So this wasn't something that I cooked. It was one of the meals that got skipped over. We did something else, and now we're gonna do it in May. So I'm gonna try to find like a rainy day. We have lots of those coming up in May, and I'm gonna make these meatballs over some mashed potatoes and a little bit of gravy. It'll be a really great rainy day, cool weather meal. We're gonna do a brown sugar pork chop. Super easy. I can glaze the brown sugar and garlic glaze, put it on the grill, make it in the oven, do it on the stovetop. Lots of different ways I can cook that. Lots of different sides. We'll do whatever sounds good at the time. We're gonna do spinach burgers. This typically would be a spinach and feta burger, but my husband has been working at a distribution center, and when they have goods that are damaged, the boxes are broken, seals are broken, whatever it is, they sell whatever's in those boxes to the workers. And because my husband is working there, fixing pipe, laying pipe, doing whatever they need him to do there, they've also been letting him bring home all of the dairy products. So things like butter and cheese and cream cheese and all sorts of things. He got me a big thing of lard he brought home for me. So if it's a good deal, my husband's getting it and bringing it home. So my point is, I have a ton of cheese right now in my freezer. So we're gonna do spinach and cheddar or spinach and mozzarella, whatever I have in the freezer and ready to pull out. We're gonna do barbecue chicken legs. Chicken legs are one of my favorite things to get in the summer because typically they're very cheap. You can get 12 chicken drumsticks at a time. It's perfect for us, especially as my kids are littler. They love chicken drumsticks. They're something really nice to just buy, put in the freezer when it's a good price, and they're easy to pull out during any barbecue or any get-together. All little kids love eating a chicken drumstick. So we're gonna do those, and I'm gonna try to find the best price on those, and if they're not a good price, I'll switch them out. We'll just do barbecue chicken, or we'll switch it and just scrap that meal entirely. It really does come down to if I can get them for a good price. We are going to do regular quesadillas. My kids have been loving these recently. I know I also have those on my lunch menu. I try not to double dip like that because otherwise it can be feeling like you're eating the same thing all the time. My kids aren't home until the end of the month, so I think if I do quesadillas at the beginning of the month and we start doing quesadillas for lunch towards the end of the month, it won't be that big of a deal. We're gonna do salmon patties. I do have a couple fillets of salmon left in the freezer. We've been eating them sparingly because my husband can't go salmon fishing for another couple of months yet. So we have a couple fillets left. We're gonna do salmon patties. I'm very excited about them. We're gonna do a Cajun shrimp. This is something that I'm trying out. Typically my family isn't the biggest fan of shrimp, specifically my smaller kids. I've been trying to sneak it in, just putting like a handful of shrimp in Alfredo with chicken, like mixing the meats. So we're gonna continue to give that a go. I have a couple dinners that I wanna throw just a handful of shrimp in and just see how it goes. So I've just been trying to introduce them to that a little bit. It switches up the protein just a hair. Sometimes you just want something different, and that's what I'm doing this month. We're gonna do BLTs, very simple, very easy, especially once the garden starts producing. This will be a summer staple for us. We're gonna do wraps. The kids love wraps. That's another thing we can pull out the bacon for. We can do grilled chicken. It's something that you can switch out the protein, just see whatever you have. Throw it in a tortilla with some veggies and some sort of dressing. Really easy, really great side, and it's a summer staple here. It will be here to stay until probably October when the weather switches, and then we'll switch our meal plan back into more of those crock pot meals, warm, hearty meals. We're gonna do raviolis and sauce. I have this really great ravioli sauce that my family absolutely loves. I'll either make the ravioli from scratch or I'll buy it from the store. It really just depends. You can also do this with tortellini. I've also done this with just plain pasta. The ravioli sauce is incredible. I will try to find the video where I use that ravioli sauce, where I make that ravioli sauce, and link that in the description box for you. If nothing else, I will try to find the recipe off of my Pinterest board and link it down below. If I forget, because I'm really bad at links, usually somebody has to comment and be like, hey Cassie, you said you were gonna leave that link down there and it's not there. I will then go back and put it in the link, or I'll link in the comment, pin the comment. My Pinterest board is linked down below always. So if I'm saying that I found something on Pinterest and it's not there, I don't link it. My Pinterest is always linked down below and you could go find it. We're gonna do a sweet and spicy chicken thigh. I got a little overzealous this last year and made way too much hot sauce. So I've been trying to find different ways to use my hot sauce. I think this is a way we can use some of that hot sauce up. We are also gonna do spaghetti and meatballs. Very classic, kids love it. Kids love to help roll meatballs, the kids love to make pasta. It's very simple, very easy, and I make all of our pasta sauce during the fall and summer when all the tomatoes are coming in. So I still have a ton of pasta sauce left over, which is great because we're hitting that 1 year mark and I still have lots of pasta sauce on the shelf, which means I made enough to last a year, which is great. We always do homemade pizzas on Fridays. Kids love to make their homemade pizzas. Once again, it's because we make all that pizza sauce in-house. We make our pizza dough here, and we always have peppers and mushrooms and onions and pepperonis or chicken or sausage from the pig that we get. So the pizzas are always different. Sometimes we'll do calzones or strombolis. Sometimes we do little pizza pockets or hot pockets. The kids absolutely love them. We love them. It's a Friday tradition that we do here always. So we have 4 days or 4 meals worth of pizzas. If we are going to go eat out, typically it would be a Friday. We'll go out for a fish fry, which is very typical here in the Midwest. Usually go out with like my husband's family or a sister-in-law, brother-in-law, something like that, and we'll all go get the kids and go out and have fish together. So if we are to eat out, it's an easy meal to skip. If I already have my pizza dough made up, I can put my pizza dough in the fridge. We can have it on the weekend, or I can just put it right in the freezer and pull it out for the next week of meals. So it's an easy one to kind of play by ear. We're gonna do pasties. Everybody loves pasties here. They're delicious. Pasties are so great because they're really not that labor intensive, and they're a really great meal. They're so hearty and delicious. If you don't know what pasties are, it's kind of like a Hot Pocket. You stuff in your pastry dough raw carrots and potatoes and onions and cabbage. You can put beef in there. It's really just a potato-based filling wrapped in pastry dough and baked. It's absolutely delicious. You can also do breakfast pasties with, once again, those potatoes, the sausage, the bacon, your eggs, your cheese, and they are fantastic. There seems to be 2 camps when it comes to pasties, dipping it in team ketchup or dipping it in team gravy. I'm team gravy, but I really think it depends on what you like to stuff your pasty with. I'm always beef and cabbage, beef and potatoes, carrots, all the root vegetables. I love rutabagas in my pasties, so dipping it in cabbage just makes a lot of sense to, or dipping it in gravy just makes a lot of sense to me. So I'm team gravy. We're gonna do a foil dinner on the grill. This is also one of those meals I wanted that shrimp for. Throw a little bit of shrimp in, maybe some kielbasa, some potatoes, some carrots, some onions, wrap it in tin foil, throw it on the grill, run out in the yard playing with the kids while the grill does all the cooking, and keep my kitchen clean, keep the mess outside, and we'll be doing those a lot heading into summer. Very easy, very delicious. We're gonna do Mongolian noodles. This is what I wanted the flank steak for. I could do this with venison, I definitely could, but I think the flank steak will taste better. So once again, this comes down to price. If I get to the store and the flank steaks are super expensive, I'll scratch it and we'll make it with venison, but we're gonna be doing a Mongolian, somewhat meat styled udon noodle. It's gonna be delicious. I've never made it before, but we're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna do quiche. My family prefers a breakfast style quiche, so that's what I'm gonna be making, but that's what we're gonna have for dinner. As long as I put breakfast sausage in it, my kids will devour it. Breakfast sausage and cheese, lots of eggs coming from the chickens. So we're gonna do that one day for dinner. I love broccoli and ham and carrots. I love a savory quiche. So we'll probably make 2, and then whatever leftovers we have, we'll use for lunches over the week or breakfast over the week, just depending on what kind of quiche you want. We're gonna do venison steaks. I love a good venison steak. I love it with a cream gravy with some spinach over some noodles. It's my absolute favorite. So we're gonna do that. My kids are getting more and more into eating venison, so we're eating it more and more. And it is kind of that time of year where we're heading into the summer. I want to make sure that we're eating through that venison before fall. That way, once youth hunt hits and open season hits, bow season, gun season, all those things, that the old venison is cleared out. We're also going to do a Salisbury steak. This is very simple. Take my hamburgers, I press it into patties. We put it on the stove here and I'll cook them just like hamburgers. And then I just top them with a cream gravy, and we'll have that with some sort of side over mashed potatoes or boiled potatoes, really whatever you want, but it is fantastic. It's a very easy meal and my kids always love it. Another meal I wanted that flank steak for was a stir fry and rice. My plan was to get 1 flank steak, cut it in half, and use it for 2 meals. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said earlier, you can throw anything in a stir fry. I have some leftover stir fry mix in the freezer right now that I want to use up. I want to just kind of get it out of there. I'm working on clearing out a lot of the old stuff out of the freezers because the garden produce is going to be coming in. So I'm trying to work through all my old stuff. That's why we're going to do pasties. I've got a lot of cabbage downstairs. Last year I had a bumper crop of cabbage, so I got a lot of it I got to move through. So we're going to be doing a lot of boiled cabbage for dinner, or buttered cabbage as sides. I just got to make sure that we're getting through a lot of that stuff. I've been working through getting through a lot of my zucchini and all those bulk things I have in the freezer. So a lot of these meals are using up all of my freezer things, all of my peppers and whatever else I have left in the freezers, and making room for 2024's crop of veggies that are coming in. Now, we're heading into Memorial Day weekend, those last couple of meals that we haven't talked about yet for the last week of May. We live in a very rural area, but about probably half of our homes up here are actually just cabins, and here locally we will refer to you as a shacker. You are somebody who comes up from the big city, whether that be Chicago, Milwaukee, Madison, something like that, and you're heading up north and you are shacking here for the weekend or for the week, whatever it is. Memorial Day is that first really big weekend where our small towns here just explode. I live in an area where it's just a bunch of small towns right after the other, after the other, after the other, and we just explode with the shackers. That being said, heading into the last week of May, I'm gonna head to the store and I'm gonna do a grocery shop for that last week. Whatever it is, that last week, we always have lots of barbecues we're going to, lots of things. We always head, for us, we head up north, we go up into the UP. So everybody comes up to our area and we head even further north to get out of town because it just explodes. And we'll head even further up north, even further into the woods. And we spend time up in the UP. Lots of barbecues happening up there. So I'm gonna wait to do that shopping because I need to know for what each individual barbecue do I need to bring. Lots of sides, just potluck style meals for that last week. That is also when my kids are gonna be out of school. So that my plan is to just wait for the last week of May, make a 1-week meal plan, figure out what I need to bring for all of those individual barbecues, and just go pick that stuff up before all of the out-of-towners get up here and my gas prices go up and my grocery prices go up and everything gets more expensive. And then I will wait to go June grocery shopping until probably the 2nd or the 3rd when all of the shackers are back home, my prices have time to come back down, and we will head in for another month. So that was kind of a really long video, but we got our May meal plan, making sure that we are planning for a second kind of grocery shop heading in for that last week of May, and lots of lunch ideas headed into May as my kids come home, and I have all 4 of them during the day. And what our plan is to kind of keep making sure that we have enough food on hand, grocery shopping once a month, and planning in a whole extra meal for lunches. So thank you guys so much for sticking out this very long video. If you want some more meal ideas, I will link them down below, all my meal plans that I do for you guys. I try to shoot these out every single month. It doesn't always happen, but I do always meal plan. It's just a matter of whether I get the video filmed and up. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today in my kitchen, just talking about meal plans, and I will catch you guys in the next video.